All right, all right. What's going on, guys? Ray York's back here. Just saying update. How you guys doing tonight? It's Friday night. Feels good. It's been a couple of days since the last time I've been on, so been busy, been doing a lot of different things. So welcome into the show. Hopefully, all you guys are having a great night. Update show is going to consist of mostly NFL talk tonight, so we'll get to that in a minute. But quick PSA announcement. Don't forget to follow Just Saying Podcast. You can find it on all major platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you get your podcasts, you can find it. Go check out all my content. You won't be disappointed. It's great, especially the soapbox. It's one of my favorites, so don't forget to go and listen to that. And also share, hit the like button. Always provide feedback. It really helps grow the channel, grow the show. So yeah, don't hold back. All right. So we get right into it. Get into week 2 NFL recap. Another fantastic week of football, not gonna lie. It was great. Some, even though it's just 2 weeks in, teams are starting to can kind of tell what teams look good and have great opportunities going forward throughout the rest of the season, and what teams are really bad and have no chance of doing anything during the season. And the teams that are really bad are the Jets. They're just really struggling right now on all aspects. Wouldn't be surprised if Adam Gase ends up getting fired at some point within the next couple of weeks, especially if they don't win a game. Which they probably won't, since they have the Colts this weekend. So really tough for them. But there was a lot of good games, though. A lot of good games. Bills were a team that looked looked like they were out in that game against Miami. But they had a great fourth quarter drive. Josh Allen looks amazing right now. I think he is really come to his own since last season. I think he's really grown off the offseason. And for him to, he's got some great weapons that he's able to throw to, but he's extremely more comfortable in the pocket and throwing than he was last year. The team looks really good on both sides. Tough on the defensive side against the Dolphins, but Miami's got, we saw last night with the Thursday night game with the Dolphins. They have a great offense. Ryan, Fitzpatrick can move the ball very well. He's a competent quarterback. Looks good back there too. Tua's not just quite ready yet. If the Dolphins lost that game, they probably would have put Tua in, but Fitzmagic made a case last night for it. But the Bills come back in the fourth quarter. They go to 2-0. Division leaders right now in the NFC East. The AFC East. Not really a surprise there, as most people have had the Bills winning the AFC East this year ahead of the Patriots. But we'll get to the Patriots in a minute, but they look really good too. But Bills looked good. They get the 31-28 victory over Miami. So kudos to them. I really like what they're doing. I really like the team. I like where they're at. See how they go going forward for sure. Another great team that's looking really good. Listen, I've said this. I had a discussion with a friend the other day, and he's a big Denver Broncos fan, and he always pertains. And I said many times in the past that that the AFC West is the best team in the NFL league. I corrected him, and I had told him that I did not believe that the AFC West was the toughest division in football. That the NFC West is really the toughest division in football, and he agreed, and he said it was a fair point. You got Seattle. You got the Rams, you got the Niners coming off a Super Bowl, and now you have Arizona, who's seen back in the mix. And they didn't have a lot of wins last year, but their offense was extremely, extremely potent last year, and that was without Hopkins. So now Arizona comes into the mix. They go get Hopkins, who is a one of the best wide receivers in the league, and Murray coming into his own and has a big time deep threat that can throw the ball down the field and spread the field wide open, and he's able to do much more now than he was last year. So you get Hopkins running down the field. It opens it up. You have still Larry Fitzgerald, but then it opens the field up more for him as well, and he can do the things that he's really good at, whether it is throwing the ball down the field or getting up on the run and extending plays. So surprise team, in my opinion right now, is the Arizona Cardinals. They look tremendous. I did tweet out my Power 5 rankings, which I'll get to later in the show, but they are pegged in as my number 5 right now, tied with another team, which I'll get to. But the way Arizona is playing, the way that their defense is too, they're really going to be a tough threat in the NFC West for sure. And if I had a peg right now, if I know it's only 2 weeks, but if I had to go with who I thought would be the top 2 teams in the NFC West, it would be the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Rams are right there too, but Niners are in a lot of trouble. They got a lot of injuries, especially with Bosa being down. That's a big time loss for the Niners. They don't have anybody that they can throw to downfield. Garoppolo looks very bad back there, but he hasn't really been good. A lot of people think he's great. He's just okay. He works in the offense, but Jimmy G, and we'll see what happens going forward with Jimmy G. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money. He is a good quarterback, but he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league. So, but Cardinals looking really good. They get a big win on the road against Washington. I know it's Washington. I understand, but road victories are always good. Really helps the team. And, traveling, especially to the East Coast, is always tough. So Arizona looks really good. Going down, Ravens continue to just beat Baltimore. Tremendous team. I don't know what more to say about that. I'm not going to spend too much time on what the Ravens look like because we all know what they do look like. We all know that they're a Super Bowl contending team. Lamar Jackson just continues to improve. But the more disappointment is really, and I've said this for weeks, is really the Houston Texans. Until Bill O'Brien, I said it last week, until Bill O'Brien gets fired and is no longer within the organization, the team is not going to go anywhere. He has made some tremendous moves that continue to blow people's mind. Last year, it seemed to work out for him as they did still make the playoffs. They did end up have a pretty good season. But you get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, and the team just shows how much it has fallen apart. You give nothing to Deshaun Watson, nothing. And he basically is just Watson by himself back there. Awful move. Got nobody in return. Got basically nothing in return for him. Fulmer just looks like he just completely lost, like a non-threat. And that's when I go with, when you have a star wide receiver, the other players are able to shine more because the field is spread open more, and you don't get double covered as much because Hopkins would be the one getting double covered. So you have more options to get wide open and to make plays. And that's just not happening with the Texans. Terrible move by Bill O'Brien. We've said it for weeks. I've been saying it for weeks. They're sitting at 0-2. Really going to be tough for them to really climb out of that division. I mean, especially with the Colts and the Titans. It's going to be tough for them. I've said it. I don't see them winning. I see the Colts winning. I'm not trying to be biased, but I see the Colts winning. But the Titans are going to be right there too. So Texans look terrible. Ravens look great. What else do you want to say about them? What else? Putting up a lot of points. Defense looks great. It's the same It's wash, rinse, and repeat, basically, with the Ravens. They're just a well-oiled machine. And Jackson just continues to improve. Surprise game of the weekend, though, was the Chargers and the Chiefs. Boy, was that a great game. Chargers had terrific opportunity to sneak out a victory over the Chiefs, and a home game for them too. They had a tremendous opportunity, but when you're in now their defense looked gassed. And the Chiefs came back in the fourth quarter, tied the game. They probably could have. They had a really good opportunity of not even going to overtime. They come down the field. They get into overtime. They get the ball first in overtime. And if you're Anthony Lynn, you go for it on fourth down. You don't punt to the Chiefs. You don't give your chance. You're not giving your team a chance to win. If you go for it on fourth down and you don't make the play, you can at least live with it, saying, hey, it was a tough fourth down. We just didn't get it, and we lost that way. But for you to physically give the ball up to the Chiefs, you were just begging for the game to end at that point. You were just begging for it. And then to boot, a kicker makes 3 field goals with a penalty and a timeout, gets frozen, 58-yard field goal, win the game. Best kicker in the league, man. Best kicker in the league. 58 yards, and it had 10 more yards to go. Could have hit it from 68. Man, oh man. Tough one for the Chargers to swallow. You got to feel bad for them. It's like they make the same repetitive mistakes year in and year out within these close 3-point games. Just go back last year and look at how many 3-point games they had and where they ended up and where they could have ended up if they had those victories. These are the ones that come back to haunt you. Good news is that Herbert is going to be the starter moving forward. Big botch injury with Tyrod Taylor. Weird. Like to know more information on that one. Feel bad for Tyrod though, but it was really Herbert's time anyway. It was just a matter of which week he was going to come in and become the starter for the team because he is the future of that team. And he looked good. Looked really good. So, got to feel bad for the Chargers. Really, really, really got to feel bad. Some of the notables, great Sunday night game. Pat Seahawks. I mean, it's a shootout. You can't go wrong with a shootout when you get a game like that. Continue to say it, and I'll say it again. Russell Wilson's the best player in the NFL, hands down. How he doesn't have an MVP yet just blows my mind. Really does. But they get the 35-30 victory. Patriots fall 1 yard short from a fourth quarter comeback with Cam. Cam looks really good. Not going to lie. He looks really good on the Patriots. Probably wasn't the right call for them. It's like it was a role reversal. Was not the right call for the Patriots to run Cam Newton to try and win that game when everybody knew Cam was running. Okay. Then if you remember the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl, even though everybody knew Marshawn Lynch was going to get the ball, that should have been the call. So it was like a little bit of a role reversal there, which was quite funny. But always seems to be some drama going on with those two teams when they play each other. But they Seattle looks strong. They look tremendous. Defense is going to get a little bit better, but they lost some key players, so it's going to be tough to overcome. But when you have Russell Wilson on the team, anything's possible. So yeah, really, man, I love watching Russell Wilson play. He's something else, I tell you. He is tremendous. A few other games that I wanted to mention. Packers, 42 points per game looks like so far. I mean, No crowd for Aaron Rodgers really is going to benefit him. Much easier for him to check down, navigate through the defense, um, change the play, do his snap count, his famous snap count, where he can get the players to jump off sides. Aaron Rodgers has a chip on his shoulder, whether people want to believe it or not. Right now, and he's saying nobody's taking my starting position as long as I'm still on the team. And boy, does it show. They get another big victory. I think it was 42-21 over Detroit. Detroit just looks bad. I'm waiting for Patricia to get fired. Not sure why he hasn't yet. This just dumb move for the Lions. But I mean, geez, what else? What else are you gonna say? But they look. I think they're probably the best team in the NFC right now. I think it's a toss-up between them and the Seahawks. And you'll see that in the Power 5 at the end of the show. But some other key ones I'll just touch on real quick. Bears get another victory, but they played the Giants. So kudos to them for being 2-0. Woo! Fucking Bears are 2-0. Trubisky still sucks. Don't get overzealous on that, please. They played the Giants. Rams, I mean, they're 2-0. They look good. They're scoring points. I still need to see a little bit more from the Rams. They play two really bad defenses with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Eagles are 0-2. They're really tough. That's too many injuries for them. The team looks like they don't even want to be on the field. Colts surprised me. I was down on the Colts. My Colts, I was down on them, but they surprised me. I don't know if it's just that they were good and they probably should have beat Jacksonville, which they probably should have, or the Vikings are just bad. Vikings might just be bad. Big time let down year for the Vikings. It sure seems it's headed that way. Tough loss for the Falcons. Cowboys come back in the fourth quarter. They actually make an onside kick work. Who would have thought that with the rules that are in place for the onside kicks? Seems like everybody was confused, but damn Cowboys, I can't fucking stand them. Oh man, it would have been. They should have lost that game. Should have lost that game. But when you're the Falcons and you're putting up 30 plus points and you haven't got a victory yet, oh man, repeat last year, already off to a bad start. Gonna be calling for Dan Quinn pretty soon. Tough one for them. Big time moral victory for the Cowboys. We'll call it a moral victory. Cowboys, imagine if they were 0-2, what Jerry Jones would be saying right now. Whew. Some head would be rolling. A lot of people would be questioning McCarthy right about now. What else do we got? Steelers stop the Broncos in the red zone. Broncos had a chance. Steelers prevailed. The better team won the game. Buccaneers didn't really see much of it, so couldn't care less about Tom Brady. You won't see me talking about that much. Actually, I will. Only when they lose. And big time victory for the Raiders. Tremendous Monday night game. Amazing stadium that the Raiders have. By far the best in the NFL, hands down. Thing looks like a freaking Death Star. The thing is slick as fuck. Black. It's crisp. It's beautiful. Beautiful stadium they did there. Kudos to them for moving to Vegas. How dumb do you have to be if you're Oakland for letting a team like that leave and not giving them the stadium that they needed? And they are going to flourish in Las Vegas. Flourish. Better for them that they moved to Las Vegas. Because why would you want to stay if somebody doesn't want you anyway? They made the right move. Davis knew what he was doing. They're gonna make so much money being in Las Vegas. Big time victory for them too on Monday night, opening that stadium. But the Saints look really bad. Drew Brees looks shot. Looks like his arm is gone. Can't throw the ball down the field. And until that changes, the defenses are going to know what's coming with Drew Brees, and the Saints are going to struggle to get some victories going forward, it seems. It seems like they might need to put in Jameis Winston, since he's the better option to throw the ball down the field and create more space, to create more plays and try and move the ball down the field, because Thomas ain't coming back until that happens, probably. Too bad for Breeze, though. I made this comparison. I said it to someone. I said it to several people, and I said it to someone. This year, Breeze is like the Manning. The Breeze is like Manning's last year. Manning came back. He knew he had a Super Bowl caliber team, but he knew he couldn't throw the ball down the field, and the team knew it. And the team built around him enough to do what they needed to do to get the victories, to get them to the Super Bowl, and then essentially winning the Super Bowl. We knew that the offense wasn't going to be great. We knew that they were only going to score X amount of points each game. But what the difference was is the defense was one of the top defenses in the league. They were amazing. So that's the difference. Manning had a great Super Bowl team that allowed him to come back and play. Breeze does not have that same Super Bowl caliber team. They have a Super Bowl contending team, but they don't have that same Super Bowl winning team like the Broncos did in Manning's last year. And that's the big difference. And that's going to show throughout the rest of the weeks going forward. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point that Winston does make an appearance to be the starting quarterback, especially if Breeze gets hurt. But Breeze, like my big time Breeze hater, Donnie Rightside, you could go follow him on Twitter if you know him. Works for SBR. Big time Breeze hater, and I love it. He's just a stat pumper. Just wants to pump his stats. We saw it at the end of the game, that Monday night game, down by 10. Down by 10. Still 20 seconds left on the clock. Rushing to the line to get over 300 yards passing. Think about it. Okay? Think about that. But good for the Raiders. Good for the Raiders. Good for Gruden. They looked good last year. I think they're much more improved this year. Moving down, we'll go quick to wrap it up. My opinion, NFL MVP frontrunners. I saw the Ringer podcast talk about Kyler Murray being a MVP frontrunner. Not quite there yet. It's too early for him to be called a frontrunner for an MVP. But to me, it's either between Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Right now, for me, it's Wilson. And I've said it 10 minutes ago. Best player in the NFL. Still shocking to me that he doesn't have an MVP award. And the way he's playing right now, he's the MVP candidate right now through week 2. Rodgers is right there behind him. Those are my two guys. Kyler Murray's just not quite there yet. I can name 3 more players or more over Kyler Murray. I mean, you got Lamar Jackson, who's playing tremendous football right now. I mean, you can make a case for Josh Allen being in the same caliber as Kyler Murray. Just not there yet. But clearly, the Wilson and Rodgers is definitely out there. Moving down, DeChambeau wins the U.S. Open. Not a surprise. I knew that he was going to win on Saturday the way he played, even though he bogeyed on 18. He was still only 2 shots back, and the way that he had played that day, you just knew he was going to come out and do the same thing again. Too strong, too difficult for everybody else. He prevailed because he was able to hit those shots tremendously longer out of the rough than all the other players, and that's what essentially got him the victory. 6-stroke victory, only player under par, mind you, and he claims his first major. So kudos to him. Know a lot of people have a lot of issues with DeChambeau, a lot of controversy, how he is, how he looks, what he'd do to get there. I'm all for it. I could care less. I like diversity. I like I like them being different. I like it. I have no problem with it. And kudos to him. Uh, he's been a tremendous player all year too. Had a lot of top tens. He was always in the runnings to try and win. DJ was slightly better. DeChambeau probably would be my second pick for the best player this year so far. DJ number one, DeChambeau number two. You can't deny that. DeChambeau had a couple other victories too, and he got a big one. So good for him. Golf season is going to be tremendous. It's going to be a lot of fun since it just started 2 weeks ago, and this was the second tournament. 6 majors in the whole calendar year, which is first time that's ever happened. Don't forget, Masters coming up in November. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. 2 more things before we head out. If anybody's in the NASCAR, what a tremendous race that was at Bristol on Saturday night. They meaning Harvick and Busch, Kyle Busch, howdy doody, if it's what you want to call them, because that's what I do. Both of them raced hard. Both of them had great cars. We're out in front, racing hard back and forth. Kyle Busch just could not get around Kevin Harvick to claim a victory. Blamed it on a lot of the lap traffic, which rightfully so. There was a lot of lap traffic, but he was not able to do what he needed to do to get around him in those turns. Kevin Harvick always had the answer to stay out in front and gets his ninth victory of this year for NASCAR. That's mind-blowing. 9 victories. We used to think that getting 4 or 5 was great, and here we are with Kevin Harvick with 9. Denny Hamlin really not too far behind him. I think he may have 6 or 7, but Harvick wins back-to-back weeks. Team looks strong. Front runner for the championship for sure. To get his second NASCAR Cup Series trophy. So great race. I love seeing hard races like that. And especially my favorite part is 1, when Howdy Doody crashes, which is Kyle Busch, but 2, it's even sweeter when he's that close to getting the victory and he loses. That's even sweeter for me when Kyle Busch does that. No victories for him this year. Let's keep it that way. Lastly, my Power 5 rankings. If you saw my tweet, I did tweet them out. Number 1, Seahawks. 2, Packers. 3, Ravens. 4, Chiefs. 5, Raiders. And Cardinals tied for 5th. That's right. Big time mix up there in number 5 spot. Both of them look really strong. You can't deny that. Both of them looks great, especially the defenses too. Both 2-0. Kind of hard to argue against who else you would put for number 5 there. But Seahawks, Packers, Ravens, Chiefs, Raiders, Cardinals. I'm Ray Yergs. This was the Just Saying update, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, follow. Go check out all my other content, and give feedback. Don't be afraid to give feedback. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real Ray Yergs. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will be back with the NFL Pick Show for week 3, either tomorrow night or Sunday morning. So don't forget to tune in then. Went 3-3 on my pick 6 last week. And week 1 was 3-2-1. So 6-5-1 for the whole season. Not too bad. A little bit of profit, but really close on 2 of the victories that we should have had during week 2. Had the Ravens over 49.5, falls on 49. That was a tough one. So could have been 4-2 instead of 3-3, but take it how it is. That's how it is. Week 3, we bounce back. And then we'll go from there. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your Saturday. Big Saturday for football tomorrow. All conferences, SEC, they're playing. Big Ten's going to be coming back. Maction's going to be coming back. We're getting back, boys. Everybody's getting back. Feels great. Don't forget to go check me out, and we will catch you guys later. Enjoy, okay?